Hello, sales scientist. Good morning. It's David Premer from Cerebral Selling, and what I wanted to do today was take you through an introduction to a whole new line of content around objection handling. Now, I'm hot off the heels of my objection handling training session, and we talked about in those sessions the two most important concepts as it relates to objection handling. Even before you start actually handling the objection, the two most important concepts you have to master are number one, intent, and number two, satisfaction. We're going to leave satisfaction for a second. We're going to talk about intent today. And so what do I mean by intent? Well, the idea is that when a customer raises an objection in a sales cycle, there's a vast spectrum of intent, meaning why did the customer raise that objection? And the intentions can range from the very logical to the very emotionally charged. We see these a lot in our sales cycles. Now, to kind of give you a perspective on what do I mean by intent? Well, let's say, for example, you are with your significant other and they lean to you and say, honey, on Saturday night, let's go to that great new restaurant that opened downtown. And let's say, for example, that maybe you are not so crazy about going to that restaurant. Right? Now, there's a whole spectrum, again, of things that you can say, ranging from the very logical, like, oh, honey, I heard that restaurant's really, really hard to get to. Or something maybe more along the kind of the emotional spectrum. Oh, you know what, I'm a vegetarian and I don't know if they have any vegetarian dishes there. All the way to the very emotionally charged, oh, honey, I heard that a couple weeks ago they were shut down for a rat infestation. And so the spectrum of objections are obviously there, and the intention behind all those objections can be different. In one instance, it might be, hey, I'd like to go there, I just don't know how, or I'd like to go there, I just want to make sure they have food options for me, all the way to, there's no way in hell I'm going there. Right? And we hear these objections all the time, those kinds of intentions in our sales cycle. So for example, one of the most common objections we might hear in a sales cycle is, well, it's too expensive. So the question is, well, what does it mean? What is the intention behind, oh, it's too expensive? Is it too expensive for the budget we have? Is it too expensive compared to other similar solutions? Is it too expensive and I'm not really convinced of the value yet? Is it's too expensive compared to my buddy's application or solution that I'm going to buy, and I'm just going to start throwing every excuse of the book not to buy yours at you until you back off, right? So there's all sorts of spectrums of intention. And the key for you as a seller is to really understand what the intent of that objection is. Because again, an objection is like an iceberg. Okay, you have to satisfy not what's on the surface of that objection, but the intent that lies below. If you do not satisfy that intent, then you will not overcome that objection. So again, foremost, think about that concept of intent, and we'll talk about this more next time.